Hmm. Yeah, I'm just looking here a little bit of viewers. Looks like we're hosed. Hey. Phoenix Wright. When will you open your eyes and accept the truth? No! I don't want to believe it. It can't be true. But what if? Mr. Wright, you fought a good fight. I think you've done all you can do. Is giving up really the only option? No, snap out of it, Phoenix. What's the matter with you? Giving in to doubt? I can't look back. Forward is the only way to go. No, Your Honor, not yet. It isn't over yet. Right. I can't lose sight of what's important. I believe in Athena, and I'll always believe in her to the very end. A defense lawyer never gives up on his client. I have to pick myself up and stand firm. Make that brain of yours work, Phoenix. If I don't see a way, I'll just have to go back and look for one. How can we do that? Time to rethink this case thoroughly. Oh, we're gonna do all of this again? Are we gonna end the chapter or something? I don't think, like, are we actually gonna find out? The culprit by doing this? I can see the fact that Athena must have stabbed someone with a utility knife. This must have been what Ponko witnessed as Athena's hug. But Prosecutor Blackwell didn't see the knife at the scene. How do we know that? This means that someone must have removed it from the lab before he arrived. Who could have taken the utility knife from the lab? Huh. Someone else, of course. A third person was at the scene. If I trust in Athena, then I have to conclude there was a third person at the scene. But according to Ponko's testimony, Athena and her mother were the only two there. Of course, I think I explained that before, viewers. The fact that Ponko, or this whole system of these robots, they recognize people by their, or they recognize the Cosmos personnel by their ID tags. So then, how did this third person manage to escape Ponko's detection? I know, this person must have fooled Ponko's facial recognition feature by covering their own face? No. Ponko's face? Used the mask then? The mask was missing, right? Yeah, I think the mask was missing in the end. The mask was now missing. Regardless. Their own face. But wait a minute. Ponko has a heartbeat detection system too. Even if they covered their own face, Ponko would have still detected their presence. But she wouldn't have been able to tell who they were. Wait, that's it! The culprit could have covered their face and posed as which person to avoid detection? They posed as Metis. If the culprit posed as the victim, that would explain why Ponko thought only she and Athena were there. All they had to do was take advantage of Ponko's basic recognition features. The culprit used this in order to pose as the victim. Her jacket. I'm thinking of how things went, by the way, viewers. So that means that Metis and the culprit were there first, where he actually managed to kill Metis, and then Athena came in and saw what happened, and this is when she actually attacked. She actually attacked the culprit, and this is when he actually escaped, I think. This is when he actually escaped, and he threw the jacket, and she didn't stab him in the heart, of course. She probably stabbed him in where the where is it again? Yeah, somewhere like in the abdomen area, at the very least. And of course they had to throw the jacket and then flee. And this is probably when actually she started charging, of course. The culprit could have posed as the victim by wearing her jacket with the ID tag on it. But that still leaves the heartbeat detection system. How did the culprit get around that? It wouldn't have worked if Ponko could detect the real Dr. Cykes' heartbeat too. So does that mean that the real Dr. Cykes was already dead by that time? Yes, sir. If that's the case, then who did Athena stab? She stabbed the real culprits. Athena stabbed the real culprit. That's it. The person Athena stabbed wasn't Dr. Cykes. It was the person who murdered her and then pretended to be her. The real culprit. Yeah, good luck proving that, though. All of that is fancy, Phoenix, but good luck trying to prove that. Now that Mr. Wright has finally finished thinking, let's bring this to a swift end. Please give us your verdict, Your Honor. so that we can move on to hostage negotiations. You're absolutely right, Prosecutor Edgeworth. I hereby...
Objection!
I didn't say it was finished. I was only pausing for a second. Because I realized something so shocking, I had to take a break to digest it. But now I know for a fact that Miss Cykes is innocent. But Ponko saw me. She witnessed the moment of the crime. Yes, Ponko did witness something. She saw the hug. In other words, the moment you used the utility knife. But the person you stabbed wasn't your mother. Actually, that proves more and more. Of course, we kind of know, though. The whole thing is revolving around a spy. Right? All of that is revolving around a spy. But the fact is that I think... The fact is... that someone is actually in the inside that knows all of these information. And yeah, I still think that it might be Clay. It might actually be Clay. It might actually be Clay, still. But the person you stabbed wasn't your mother. Oh, what are you saying, Mr. Wright? The answer is simple. The person Miss Cykes stabbed was a third person posing as Dr. Cykes. I mean, we can easily prove that by analyzing the jacket, right? Unless it got watched. What?
Objection!
Huh. Do you really expect us to swallow that, Mr. Wright? According to the robot's statements, there was no third person there. Did you really think I wouldn't see through your ludicrous grab for time?
Objection!
Didn't I predict all of that, viewers? Damn. Should have not been an engineer. Should have been a lawyer. After all, we've been through, Mr. Edgeworth. After all we've been through, Mr. Edgeworth, I'm disappointed. Goddamn, talking trash. Don't you know by now that this smile of mine means I have absolute confidence? Ha! You make that pose all the time, regardless of the facts. Clonko's strange malfunction. Mr. Charon, you look pale. Shall I help you to the sick bay? Mr. Charon? But that's Apollo you're talking to. Oh, this hunk of junk here is mistaking Apollo for Clay. Maybe Apollo is possessed by Clay's ghost. That was another case of mistaken identity caused by a jacket ID tag. All because Clonko couldn't read Apollo's facial features due to that eye patch. Oh! Well, actually, that's pretty good. The fact that the eye patch hindered the ability of the robot's facial recognition. That actually makes sense. Like Mr. Edgeworth said, a mask could nullify the robot's facial recognition. And then, all the person would have to do is wear a jacket with the victim's ID tag to pose as her.
Objection!
Of all the ridiculous theories, what good would a silly disguise like that do? Have you forgotten that the robot also has a heartbeat detection system? If there was a third person at the scene, the robot would have detected them. I'm sorry, Mr. Edgeworth, but that doesn't count for much, I'm afraid. Because, by that time, Dr. Sai's heart had already stopped beating. What? So does that mean... Yes, Your Honor. The person Miss Cykes stabbed... This third person who was posing as Dr. Cykes... is her mother's real killer. But... that's... I'm impossible! A mask? The person I stabbed was wearing a mask. She can't even confirm your hypothesis, Phoenix. So you're not gonna be able to prove that. Order in the court! Miss Cykes, did you say something? A mask? Whoa. Yes. I remember, Athena, what is it? Uh-oh. Whoa. I remember a man. A man? A man with a mask. How could he... What did he do to my mother? Ah. My head. Miss Cykes, are you alright? Oh. The black psyche-locks. They're breaking. Uh-oh, she's remembering? Oh! It's all coming back to me. Everything that happened that day, my mother was murdered. Is she gonna know? It's Clay, right? It's Clay. They're gone! The black psyche-locks are finally gone! You didn't really stab your mother, did you? It's alright, Athena. Just tell us what you saw that day. I was drawing a picture. When I was done, I went to show it to my mom. I opened the door, and then... Ugh. It's all right. I'm right here. You're safe, Athena. She was on the floor, by the workbench, with the katana sticking out of her. There was a handkerchief over her face, but I knew it was her by her clothes. And there was a man there. A man? Quite, Your Honor. Go on, Athena. He tried to attack me. In a panic, I grabbed the knife that was there and... So that means that he should be a... I mean, it doesn't necessarily that means that he should be like a personnel. Because I thought like, oh, he's a personnel, he's like a... He is definitely like a personnel, or is the spy, because he knows how to do and where to go and all and how this and how the robots work, but yeah, and how he actually managed to get the knife in as well. He probably actually posed as someone, but no, I think that guy is Clay. He tried to attack me. In a panic, I grabbed the knife that was there and... He dodged at first, so I only got his clothes. But I tried again. And this time you got him, didn't you? I did. I remember it clearly now. The knife went into the back of his hand. The back of his hand? Leaves two of these guys suspect. I mean, she said a man, but... So it's not clay? Huh, okay. Then he kicked me, and I passed out. Utility knife updated in the court record. The murder weapon in this case. Athena also used one of these to stab the Phantom's hand during the incident 7 years ago. When I came to, my mom wasn't moving. I had to do something. I had to fix her, I thought. So I asked Ponko to move her to the operating table. Something wrong with my mom. So I'm taking her apart to fix her. So that's why she said that. Your Honor, as you can see, the defendant has just given us critical new testimony. A man was there before Miss Cykes arrived. A man who covered the victim's face and put on the victim's jacket. This man is the real culprit. I wonder if the game is not gonna allow us to actually find that culprit, at least in this game. Maybe in a future Ace Attorney game. I can actually see that. I can see that. That would definitely be cool. That would definitely be cool. Like, because the only thing that we need to do is just clear them of, clear them of guilt. Clear them of the charge. Both Athena and Simon. Miss Cykes, do you have any idea who this man was? No, I'm afraid I don't. A few moments ago, Miss Cykes mentioned the mask. Athena, can you tell us anything else about that? Yes, the mask. It was my mom's Japanese theater mask. I think it was the one hanging on the wall of the lab. Ah, this mask hanging here on the wall. It was kind of spooky, that mask. My mom used to tell me that a no mask even has the power to turn an ordinary human being into a phantom. Ooh. A phantom? It would seem that a new suspect has emerged. How the hell? No, we don't have any evidence. And that means that all suspicion against Miss Cykes has... Hold it! You see, this is precisely why I can't trust the court system. Athena Cykes is the murderer. I won't accept any other verdict. Miss Blackwell! This isn't good. A new suspect? Where's the proof this person ever existed? Yep. That's true. Who says it wasn't all just a dream in the little princess's groggy little head? She's right. We don't have any hard evidence of the masked man existence. Objection! Hey, she's back to her old self. Thank you, Mr. Wright. I'll never be able to repay you for all you've done. But I'm fine now, because I can say with certainty that I didn't kill my mother. Athena, I'm so glad for you. More and more memories are coming back now. So I'd like to say one thing, if I could. Ponko came to the robotics lab at about 2 p.m. to recharge. I went to the robotics lab at about 2 p.m. for my regular recharge. Just as I was about to charge up, Athena came in and hugged Mommy Metis. And then Mommy Metis fell down. After that, I was recharging, so I don't know anything. Can't any of these doors have logs for, for 7 years? I don't think that's a possibility. I see where you're going with this. If Mommy Metis was really the killer in disguise, right? Then he must have come to the robotics lab before 2 p.m. Do I have anything here in the evidence that can help me find this person who came to the lab before 2 p.m.? Video showing the corridor to the crime scene. Black hole was the only one to pass through at the time of the crime. I am going to say it's this. Whoever in that, whoever was in that newspaper piece, right? Rock was stolen. Hope capsule can be seen. A workbench. There is a oil case. Station toolkit on the floor. There's a hanging scroll in a Japanese theater mask on the wall. The thing is, like, how can I tell when this picture was taken? This one in particular. I mean, it's the only one, right? Alright. This piece of evidence will reveal the identity of the person who came to the lab. Will it now? Then reveal away, by all means. Oh, how about it if we team up for this, Mr. Edgeworth? No. How about you, Your Honor? What do you say? Certainly, I'll help you. I'll help you to remember to think before you speak. Ah! Tag teamed by lemon juice and paper cut? Could an image of the culprit possibly have been captured anyway? I mean, this is what I try to show. Photo shows black one. Video showing the corridor to the crime scene. This is the only one. This is Prosecutor Blackwell leaving the scene after the incident at around 3 p.m. What I'm wondering is, does the video show anyone else passing by before then? I don't see anything in the investigation report. It looks like they didn't check. Uh-oh. Just as I thought. So if we rewind the footage and go back to around 2 p.m., is the actual footage there? With our hand? We should be able to see the true culprit leaving the scene. Very well then, let's take a look. Clay. It's gonna be 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 Clay. There. Please stop it right there. It's just like you said. There's a man leaving the scene of the crime. This looks like a student outfit. This looks like a student outfit. Miss Cykes, do you remember this person? That's him, I'm sure of it. He's wearing my mother's jacket. I did. But what I really wanted to see was her jacket. That jacket on display. That was Dr. Cykes. Wait a minute. It's definitely not the hat. 7 years, I don't think that's him. Definitely that's not him. I would still say that it's... I would still say that it's Clay. Clay? It might be Simon. It might be Simon too. Huh. Can you see it? There's a slash I made with the utility knife that day. And I'm sure that knife is under that jacket somewhere. So then, everything Miss Cykes said. Exactly. It proves that Miss Cykes' memory was correct. Are you telling me that nobody checked the footage at all? I mean, it was kind of hidden, right? Wasn't all of that covered? All of that was covered in the end. Exactly. It proves that Miss Cykes' memory was correct. Simon might actually be a suspect as well. Dr. Sykes' killer arrived at the robotics lab before 2 p.m. He killed her and hid her face with a handkerchief. Then he disguised himself with Dr. Sykes' jacket and mask that were there in the lab. The culprit probably knew beforehand that Ponko charged up at 2 p.m. every day. So he waited for Ponko to come to the lab for her regular recharge for it. By leaving Dr. Sykes' jacket on, the culprit tricked Ponko into thinking he was Dr. Sykes, thereby making it look like she was alive up to the point in the time. All to disguise the real time of death.
Objection!
Proof. Yep. It's a nice theory, Mr. Wright. But I'm afraid that it's just not possible. I mean, shouldn't he be a little bit suspicious of that guy that was stabbed in his hand? He wrapped his hand with a goddamn bandage? I mean, isn't that a little bit suspicious? What? Why not? The victim's jacket is clearly visible right there in this video. And that right there is precisely the problem. The ID tag on the jacket at the scene of the ID tag on the jacket at the scene confirms beyond doubt that it belonged to the victim. Yeah, but it was there in the end, right? It was found there. Oh. It was found there, so the perp came back again. The perpetrator came back again. Ah, I see. The ID tag on the jacket at the scene confirms beyond doubt that it belonged to the victim. If the person who left the lab truly was wearing the victim's jacket, now how could it possibly have wound up back at the crime scene? What's going on? That doesn't make sense. Edgeworth's right. If the culprit was wearing the jacket, how did it get back to the lab? The killer brought it back? The victim brought it back? No. I mean, it is clear as day that the killer definitely brought it back. Otherwise, nothing would make any sense. And by none of that making any sense, the fact that, the culprit actually had to use her jacket. So he was there first, that is for sure. Can't we check the footage to see who actually got there first? We can easily determine that. I would say the killer brought it back. That's the only one that makes sense. The killer used the jacket as a disguise to make his escape. But in order to conceal that fact, he had to get he had to get the jacket back to the crime scene. So the culprit simply returned to the robotics lab later and planted it there. Contradiction resolved.
Objection!
Can we not just see the footage? Except that it would have been impossible. The only people who came to the robotics lab after the killer were Prosecutor Blackwell and the people who reported the body. And they claimed that the jacket was there when they arrived. So when do you propose the mysterious man of yours had the chance to return the jacket? Maybe he didn't precisely return the jacket. Maybe he used one of the robots? A puzzling question indeed. When did the culprit have the chance to bring the jacket back? When the body was found? When did the culprit have the chance to bring the jacket back? At the time of the murder? When the body was found? It was one of the ones that found the body. The only time the culprit could have returned the jacket was when the body was found. Yeah, that was a question that was simple enough. I think they just put the question just to make sure the player is following the... is following the case, because it's getting a little bit long. This case again is getting a little bit long. I'm loving it, actually. I'm loving it. Mr. Wright, do you realize the implication of that argument? I do. Most people, when they come across a murder, focus their attention on the body. The culprit could have taken advantage of that split second to plan the jacket. In other words, the true culprit of this case, the man known as Phantom, was one of the first people to discover the body. I would never have thought of that. How could you not think of that? That would make perfect sense. Order in the court. What is the meaning of this, Prosecutor Edgeworth? The body was discovered and reported by a group of 3 people. They were there to collect the space probe's capsule in preparation for the hat launch. Solomon. One of those people had a special bag to transport the capsule in. Oh, you mean the shock-resistant bag? Correct. I suppose that if the jacket was in that bag, it could have been returned to the scene of the crime without anyone noticing. I'll see to it that you get the reports on those 3 people. You will? We should also check the facial recognition database for the robot. If this person felt the need to hide his face with the theater mask, it might mean that his facial data was once registered. That's actually, yeah, pretty much. Prosecutor Edgeworth, does this mean... I have to admit, I believe Miss Cykes' memory to be credible. You win, right? Not that this was ever an official trial anyway. Do my ears deceive me? Prosecutor Edgeworth, are you actually conceding? Is it true, boss? Does this mean I can't believe it. It's over. I won. I proved that both Athena and Prosecutor Blackwell are innocent. Your Honor, I see no need to further prolong this trial.
Objection!
Uh-oh. Hold on, Mr. Wright. Have you forgotten who's in charge of this trial? That's right. I'm the one who's supposed to say, I see no need to further prolong. No, it's not you. Not you either, Your Honor. No, silence!